Hey YouTube, this is Brandon at The Edge Pro, and we're going to talk about changing the drive lever on the Oster Volt and Heineken Sapphire clippers. So let's head on over to the repair station and get to work. Alrighty, we're over here at the repair desk and we're going to work on changing the drive lever on this Oster Volt, which is also the same as the Heineken Sapphire, and it's going to also be the same as the Oster 3000i. And so first thing we're going to have to do is take out the screws to take apart the housing. It's going to be a little more involved than other clippers that we've talked about so far. The first thing you're going to want to do is take the battery out, and then for the tools that you're going to need is going to be a T10 screwdriver, Torx 10, just like we had for the hinge repair, and then you may find a regular standard slotted screwdriver to be helpful as well. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take out all of these housing screws. There's 3 on this side, there's 3 on this side. We have to take out the 2 hinge screws, and that hinge will come off. And then we also are going to take out this small screw right back here. All of these screws are going to be the same size. The only one that's going to be different is this one. It's going to be a real small screw, but everything else will be the same size, so you don't have to worry about keeping them organized. And so we're going to get started taking those screws out. Alright, so we've got all our screws out here, and here's the difference in the screws. This is the standard screw here that most of the screws in the housing are, and then this is that back one right by the battery here, right in that area. So all the screws are the same length with the exception of that one. So once we have all of those out, we also have the hinge here. Now the housing should come apart nice and easy. I usually like to lift it up from the back, and then we'll take and open it right up just like that. And this clipper is actually missing a part that your clipper will have in it. There's a little rubber cover piece that's going to set on these 2 pegs right here. That would also be on there. It's to help catch hair from coming down into the clipper. But this clipper's missing that, so I would make that replacement as well if we were actually repairing this clipper. But as you can see, here's the drive levers, this black piece right here, and the way that we tell when a drive lever needs replaced is going to be, if you notice the shape of this drive lever, it stays straight all the way through the tip of the drive, kind of off the end into infinity. What'll happen over time is you'll come up to about right here where it actuates into the cutter blade, and then it'll stair step inward and then go up. And that's going to allow room for the clipper to kind of slap, or the drive to slap back and forth between the cutter, and that's going to end up causing lack of stroke, loud noises, extra vibration, all the same things that the other drives have, but that's a telltale sign in this specific drive. So to get this drive off, a lot of times you can just pull up on it, but if that doesn't work, we will take our screwdriver and just kind of rest it on this white circle part and just give it a little twist just like that, and it pops off. The drive lever also has this foam piece right here on it, and that'll be full of hair on a used clipper. And so if you want to replace that, you can. It's not necessary, but it's going to help keep hair and debris out of your clipper, so hopefully it stays looking pretty clean like this. These motors are a sealed motor, and so if hair and stuff gets down in there, then you have to replace that, and that's no fun. Here's a gear right here. This connects to the motor, and so the motor will spin that gear. That gear will spin, which allows this bearing to spin within the drive, and that's how everything works there. So one thing that we'll check for is to make sure that this bearing is nice and smooth. We also don't want any side-to-side play in that bearing. But then we'll take our new drive and make sure we put that hair guard back on, and then when we go to put it on, we'll just line up that center hole there. Is usually where I'll start, and then it'll take like a snap onto the bearing here. So push it down, and then this one didn't fight me too much, but sometimes they'll need a little bit of pushing to get onto that bearing. But we'll get that onto the bearing, and you'll want to make sure that that hair guard slides nicely into this rectangle slot right here for it. If it's bound up, it might cause extra resistance on your drive, which is just going to cause more work for your motor. So you want it to sit in there so it looks really nice. Whoops, sorry. So it looks really nice there, and it's not all scrunched up. Fits nicely. You can see this way the drive is sitting down nice and flush with the gear. It's sitting all the way down on that bearing. And so we're good to go. Now we're going to put the housing back on. Well, next you would put that rubber piece back on right here. That would go here. It's not there. We didn't have it in this clipper, but that would just lay right on there, and that's pretty easy to see. And then the housing just snaps right back together. And then we'll put all of our screws in. I'll usually put these 6 down here in first, and then put the hinge back on. And then once the hinge is back on, I'll put that last small screw in, and we'll be ready to go again. And that completes this repair on the drive lever for the Oster Volt, the Heinegger Sapphire, and the Oster 3000i. If this has been helpful for you, feel free to hit the thumbs up button there on the bottom of this video. And for more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel. And if there's any questions that you guys have, leave it in the comments section. We'd love to see what your thoughts are on this video. Thank you.